Before we dive into the world of Middle-earth, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the like button for more exciting content. What's the one thing that has always puzzled you about JRR? Tolkien's epic saga, The Lord of the Rings. For me, it's the Elven Rings of Power. The subtle depiction of magic and special powers in Middle-earth has always added an air of mystery, making the storyline even more captivating. The Elven Rings were first introduced in Season 1 of The Rings of Power and took center stage in Season 2 with Sauron's manipulation of Eregion at the end of Season 1. Elrond voiced concerns about the Elven Rings, but Círdan, Gil-galad, and Galadriel overruled him, asserting their perceived value. As the spotlight shifted towards the other Rings of Power, Sauron started influencing Celebrimbor to create rings for dwarves and men, while the Elven Rings remained securely held by the three from Linden Fighter to the Industry. And although I've been content with understanding what the Lord of the Rings, One Ring, Dwarven Rings, and the Rings for Men do, there's been a lingering question about the Elven Rings that has yet to be answered. The about $245 million of Elven Rings that have yet to be answered. In episode 7 of The Rings of Power, Season 2, the conclusion seems poised to unveil an age-old mystery concerning the enchanted jewelry. Adar, the Rook leader, is now in control of a ring of elven power with the intention of employing it to bring down Sauron. This latest development may potentially shed light on a question I have harbored for some time regarding the Elven Rings of Power. The Lord of the Rings is generally vague about what the Elves 3 rings do. The Elven Rings contain an often formless power, and their magic is more subtly woven into the fabric of the tale. The most explicit demonstration of the Elven Ring's raw power occurred in The Fellowship of the Ring, particularly in the book, rather than the film adaptation by Peter Jackson. The Rings of Power, fully showing the power of the 3 rings, is very exciting. How will Menya aid Adar's plot to kill Sauron? The upcoming Season 2, Episode 8 of The Rings of Power hints at a showdown between Adar and Sauron. Since we know from the future timeline of The Lord of the Rings that Sauron will endure, it leaves us curious about how Menya might be relevant to Adar. The depiction of the Elven Rings powers is something that I could not even begin to guess. Receiving even a hint of an answer to the question I have long had about what powers the Elven Rings have is incredibly enticing, making my anticipation for the Rings of Power Season 2, Episode 8 even greater. On a lighter note, it seems like Adar is trying to collect all the Rings of Power, much like a fantasy version of a Pokemon trainer, trying to catch a Pokemon trainer. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.